Hello, children. So you all are welcome once again to a new session for topo sheet practice. And along with this, we are going to discuss a few MCQs also, right? So let's start with it. If you remember, in the earlier session, we had discussed already a few topics from the topo sheet. And we are going to revise all the things once again very quickly. Okay? आप सब लोगों को पहले वाला वीडियो अगर आपने देखा है तो आपने उसमें कुछ चीजें अच्छे से रिवाइज कर ली होंगी और अब इस वीडियो में हम लोग कुछ और पॉइंट्स डिस्कस करेंगे फ्रॉम द टोपो शीट्स, राइट? And I have got another topo sheet for you today, that is G43S10. I told you that day also in the earlier session that we are actually having two topo sheets this time in the ICSE exams, and these two topo sheets are G43S7 and G43S10. Okay. तो इन दो टोपो शीट्स में से बच्चों कोई भी एक पार्ट आ जाएगा एग्जाम में, तो उसके लिए आपको घबराने की बात नहीं है. यू जस्ट हैव टू प्रैक्टिस ऑल द थिंग्स वेरी वेल. ओके, वंस यू प्रैक्टिस इट प्रॉपरली you will be well confident, and then anything you can easily solve out related to the topo sheets. Now let's quickly start with this. um, in this session, we are going to discuss a few more things, right? Regarding the drainage pattern, the left and right bank tributaries. This we discussed in the earlier session, but again, because it is related to the streams, so I want to tell you once again about all that. Okay. इसमें सबसे पहले आपको ये समझना जरूरी है कि कोई भी जो मेन स्ट्रीम होगी टोपो शीट में, जो भी टोपो शीट हमें मिलता है एग्जाम में, उस टोपो शीट से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस होंगे. ओके. और उसमें कोई भी मेन स्ट्रीम होना मतलब कोई भी बड़ी रिवर होगी, राइट? और बाकी ये आप देख सकते हैं, आप छोटी छोटी जो ब्लैक लाइंस हैं, स्ट्रीम्स हैं, these are actually the very small streams. These are the tributaries. Okay, these are all the tributaries of some or the other river, right? But here you can see, out of all these tributaries, one river is there, that is Dior Nadi, right? One Dior Nadi is there, where you can see a few tributaries are joining, and its name is also given Dior Nadi. Okay. Now, if I ask you, suppose in the exam you're getting a question, what is the direction of Dior Nadi in the given topo sheet? What you will say? अब इससे रिलेटेड बच्चों एक चीज आपको जानना जरूरी है. जैसे इस कंडीशन में तो एक आपको ये बहुत क्लियर इंडिकेशन दिया हुआ है, दैट इज द एरो. यू कैन सी वेरी क्लियरली दियोर नदी के साथ में इधर जो है एक एरो दिया हुआ है, राइट, विच इज शोइंग द movement of Dior Nadi from north towards south, right? So you can easily say that the Dior Nadi is flowing from north towards south. And if they ask for, generally the question comes like this, कि कोई evidence आप दीजिए, suppose give an evidence in support of your answer. तो अगर आपने लिखा है कि this river is flowing from north to south, what evidence you are going to give it in this case in support of your answer? So for that, the best evidence you are getting here only in very clearly here in the map, that is the arrow. So first thing you are going to mention is arrow, right? If they ask for two evidences, so in this case, what you're going to write? One is arrow, okay, which is pointing from north towards south. One more is there, children. If you see, several small tributaries are joining this river, right? These tributaries are forming an acute angle. You can see here. When these tributaries join the main stream, they form an acute angle, right? And this angle, which these small tributaries are forming, these angles are pointing towards the direction of the flow of river. that is towards the south. Okay, so this is again one of the evidences which you can give in this regard, right? And one more evidence besides arrow, you will get two things. Okay, one is the tributaries, right? The angle which they are forming, acute angles, they are pointing always towards the direction of the flow of river. Okay, besides this, one more thing, if you notice, you'll find several, suppose you start checking जहां पर आपको altitudes mentioned होगा, यहाँ पर मैप में आपको बहुत सारे altitudes mentioned मिलेंगे. जैसे यहाँ पर आप देखो, आप in the northernmost part, spot height 323 is given, right? Spot height 324. Then move towards the western side, it is 397, it is 339, right? Then 304, 306, 302, right? As you go down towards the southwestern part, it is going less, okay, 293. What about the southern part? It is 317, right? Let's see the other cases. If you go further towards south, you'll find it's, if you can notice here, one survey tree is there, 286. It is indicating the height of 286 meters. Okay. Then you can see 274 in extreme southern part, 274, right? So in this way, 279, then 277. So that means the altitude is decreasing from north towards south. There it was 300 something, and here it is going to 274, 276 and all, right? So these are a few things, children, you should understand that, because all of we know very well that always the liquid or any water body, or you can say the rivers or water, always follows the slope. So here, if we are talking of any river, naturally it will flow down the slope, okay, from higher altitude towards low altitude. So it is very, very clear that the direction of Dior Nadi is from the north towards south. Okay, so what have we understood here? First thing, the different methods to show the direction of river. Number one is arrow. Okay, and let me tell you one more thing, children. हमेशा आपको arrow नहीं मिलेगा. आप ये भी हो सकता है कि एग्जाम में जो शीट आपको मिले, जो एक पार्ट किसी शीट का मिल गया, उसमें कोई रिवर शो किया हुआ है, right? And they have asked for the direction of the river, of the flow of river, but in that no arrow is there. Then in that case, you are going to take the other two methods to find out the direction of the river. Okay, one is, always keep this in mind, one is besides arrow, one is the tributaries which are joining the main stream. They always form an acute angle, and whenever they form an acute angle, keep this in mind very clearly, that these angles always point towards the flow of the river. Whatever is the flow of river, that side they will be pointing. Okay, and exceptions are always there, but most of the cases you will find the tributaries are pointing towards the direction of the flow of river. And once we find the direction of all these angles of the tributaries, what they are forming, we can easily say that the river is flowing from this direction to this direction, right? One more thing is there besides this, the heights you will have to observe. Okay, the altitudes which are shown on the topo sheet, and for that purpose you need to check the spot heights, you can check the benchmark heights, you can check the even the contour heights. Okay, you can check the triangulated heights, but not the relative height. Okay, keep this in mind. So these all, when you check, you will find that all these heights are actually decreasing towards some direction. And if you find the river is passing through that part, naturally the river is going to follow the slope. Okay, from higher altitude, the river is going to flow towards the low altitude area, right? So this is how you have to find out the direction of the flow of a river. Now, suppose one more question related to this. Dior Nadi's direction we have found. Okay, it's going from north towards south. Now, if we have to find out that which bank is right and which bank is left bank of it, how we can say that? Now, for that, if you have seen the earlier video, you must be very clear about it. Let me tell you once again, if we are following the flow of the river, right? Suppose मैं यहाँ पर एक एग्जांपल आपको दे रही हूँ, जैसे दियोर नदी का डायरेक्शन हमें पता चल गया कि it's going from north to south. Okay, from north to south it is flowing. So what we do is to find out the right and left bank of the river. What we do is we just imagine for a moment that we are standing facing the direction of the flow of river. Suppose it is going towards south. So we just imagine that we are facing towards south. Okay. And once we have done that, then which side is our right side? Suppose our right side is actually right hand is pointing towards the right side of the river, right? And the left side of us is going to give us the left bank of the river. So right side will be the right bank, left side of us will be the left bank of the river. So in this way, we have to find out the both the banks of the river, and accordingly, related to this, they give the questions, right? Like give one settlement, the name of one settlement on the left bank of the river, on the right bank of the river. Suppose in this case, if it comes, right? The question has come, give the name of one settlement which is lying on the right bank of the Dior Nadi. What you will say in this case? Right bank. Right bank means this side. Okay. So the nearest one is this one you can see, Dangrali, right? So this is actually, or you can take another one that is Idarla. These are lying on the right bank of the river. Clear? So these are a few common questions they ask, right? अच्छा, नेक्स्ट है बच्चों इसमें एक चीज और है, जैसे इसका एक पैटर्न पे बेस्ड क्वेश्चन जरूर आता है, राइट? जैसे एक पैटर्न्स, दो टाइप के पैटर्न्स इसमें आते हैं. वन इज सेटलमेंट पैटर्न, दैट इज रिलेटेड टू द सेटलमेंट्स, okay, the permanent huts and all that. Now one is the other type of pattern which we have to study here is the drainage pattern related to the rivers and streams and all. Okay, what is drainage pattern? Now the pattern or the shape which is actually coming out by the joining of all the streams and the rivers within that area. Okay, what type of shape they are giving out. Now, according to that, actually on the basis of this, we have got a few type of, you can say, different type of drainage patterns we have taken. Okay, and in topo sheet, we have to take out, suppose one is the dendritic drainage pattern. Okay, number two is the trellised drainage pattern. Number three is the radial drainage pattern. Okay, these are the main drainage patterns we have to study this time. Clear? Now, what is dendritic drainage pattern? Dendritic, let me tell you one thing. If you remember that in bio, you have studied about dendrons. Okay, neurons, dendrons आपने पढ़ा होगा nervous system में, right? अगर आप उससे relate कर सको, तो that will be easy for you to remember dendron and dendritic. Dendritic is actually somewhat like the shape of dendrons only. You can see tree-like formation. The other way you can take the tree-like formation. That is dendritic pattern. Okay. So here, if the question is, you can see here, this is a grid square, right? Where I'm showing you the cursor. If you cannot identify the cursor here, let me tell you the number of the grid square. It is 5, 4 and 3, 6. You can see 5, 4 is always the, what I told you in the earlier video very clearly how to find it out. Always we have to take the L. Okay. L जब आप लोगे तो उसमें 5, 4, 5, 4 is this one. You can see easting 5, 4 जो है आपने यहाँ पे लिया. Okay. So easting 5, 4 is this line, right? This line. Now, and the next one I told you just now is 3, 6. 3, 6 northing. This is 3, 6 northing. So you take this line, right? So if we take this L, we are getting this part, right? This part. Now within this, what is the drainage pattern you can find here? It is very clearly, we can say that this is a tree-like structure is coming out of it. Okay. And whenever this type of structure is there, that is exactly nothing else but dendritic pattern. Okay, dendritic drainage pattern. So you have to just think of one particular thing, that whenever any, suppose exam में इसी type of question आने वाला है कि one grid square they will give, okay, and they will ask for it कि उस grid square में क्या dendritic sorry क्या drainage pattern है, तो आपको उसी ग्रिड स्क्वायर के अंदर आपको ड्रेनेज पैटर्न कैसा दिख रहा है, बस वो आपको मेंशन करना है. यू डोंट हैव टू थिंक अबाउट रेस्ट ऑफ द मैप. ओके, तो उस पर्टिकुलर स्क्वायर को आप पहले लोकेट करोगे, और उसको जब आपने लोकेट कर लिया तो उसके बाद आपको उसमें ड्रेनेज पैटर्न आपको बताना है कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ ड्रेनेज पैटर्न इज दैट. Okay, let me give you one more example of it. Let's take this example. This is another square. Let me give you the number 5538. Yes, 5538. This grid square. And in this grid square, if you see, the streams are actually coming out from the different, you can say, higher parts or the peaks, and they are moving in different directions. If you can see here, they are moving in different directions, and if they move in different directions, they are forming somewhat like radial pattern. Radial means just the word has come from radii. Okay, radius, that means we imagine that there's one center, we imagine that as the peak. Okay, peak of any hill or mountain, and from there the rivers go in different directions just like radii of a circle. Okay, so just that we can find in the case of this drainage pattern. And here you will find, suppose any streams which are coming out of from one portion, right, and they are moving in different directions, that means that is a radial pattern. Okay, so two examples you have got. Let me give you one more example, that is trillized. Trillized, or you can say that is actually, sometimes many people say rectangular. Rectangular is not exactly trillized, but yes, in trillized also you'll find somewhat the streams which are joining the main stream, right? The tributaries which are joining the main stream, they form somewhat parallel pattern, right? And that's why many times this is also called as the parallel drainage pattern. Okay, let me find it out if any example we can see in this. Here is one example we are getting in the grid square 5 7, right? This one, last one small part is there, not the complete part of the square you can see in this map. But yes, 5, 7 and 3, 8. This small part, 5, 7, 3, 8. And in this, if you can see, the stream is there. One stream is there, which is actually joined by the two tributaries which are shown over here. Two tributaries are there, and these two tributaries are somewhat these are almost parallel to each other, and this is only called as trillized pattern. Okay, if we are given the question that what is the grid, what is the drainage pattern in this grid square, तो आपको इसमें आंसर देना है this is trillized pattern. Okay, because we are just talking about this square. Okay, we are not talking about the rest of it, right? So only in this square, if you see, in this square, these two streams are forming a parallel pattern, almost parallel pattern, and that is why this is actually called as trillized drainage pattern. Okay, so this is about the stream, right? And most of these streams, not most of these streams, all these are seasonal. In this topo sheet, what we have, all these streams are seasonal streams. Okay, how do we know that? Because these are not blue colored, these are dotted. You can see here, small black dots are there throughout in all the streams, whatever we can see, right? So this is an important feature of these uh, streams which we can find in this topo sheet, right? Besides this, a few more questions come generally related to the streams. That is, in some cases, you'll find कभी कभी आपको ऐसा क्वेश्चन भी मिल सकता है कि एक स्ट्रीम, सपोज सिमिलर स्ट्रीम्स यू विल फाइंड dotted courses there, and in between one blue line is passing through it, right? अब आपको क्वेश्चन ये पूछ सकते हैं एग्जाम में कि what does that blue line in that stream indicate? You should remember all these things related to stream. This is an important question. It has come many times, and it can come anytime, right? So this you should know. The blue line always indicates a perennial flow of water channel in the seasonal stream. Okay, a perennial flow of water channel in the seasonal stream. That is the complete answer of it, right? If sometimes you find within that the course of the stream, small oval shaped or circular patterns are there, white patterns are there, these are actually the, yes, these are the riverine islands. Okay, right. Now these are about the streams. Now along the streams, along most of the seasonal streams, you'll find along the bank of these streams several curved black lines you can see here, right? Black curved lines you can see, these are there. Now what does these black lines indicate? These black curved lines indicate the broken ground. Okay. Now, what is this broken ground? Broken grounds are those areas where, if you just imagine of that area, if you have ever got any chance to go to such areas near the bank of any river, आप कभी भी ये अगर आपने नोटिस किया हो कि रिवर बैंक पर, रिवर के जो नदी के किनारों पर कभी कभी जैसे एक क्रैक्स डेवलप होते हैं, जहाँ मतलब आपको वो एरिया जहां पर क्रैक्स थोड़े से दिखेंगे, जहां जमीन पर along the bank of river, that is actually called as the broken ground. And how does it develop? That is again an important question, right? This is generally asked, what does it indicate and how it is formed? तो आप उसमें आप क्या लिखोगे? Always, that is formed by seasonal rainfall, right? Seasonal rainfall या seasonal submergence underwater. That means, let me make my answer very clear. कुछ समय के लिए जब रेनी सीजन होता है तो क्या होता है? स्ट्रीम्स गेट एक्चुअली ओवरफ्लो, और यू कैन से द flow of water is too much in the streams, right, or the rivers. But when it's dry season, then you'll find the flow becomes very less. Okay, so in that case what happens? That becomes actually the coast, the portion which is lying on the bank of the river, that now gets dry. Okay, earlier it was submerged under water, now it gets dry. तो ये आप बोल सकते हो seasonal submersions under water, and the other season it is dry, that develops into this broken ground to develop. And these are the broken grounds which are shown in the map by these curved black lines. Okay, so these are broken grounds. Clear? Okay, right. Now after this, next question is, suppose regarding the settlement patterns, here you can see a few such settlements are given which are having different patterns. Okay, let's take one example, Bhamra. You can see one settlement is there in almost the central part of this map, which I'm showing you just now. So what is the settlement pattern of this particular settlement? Bhamra. This can come. So this, in this case, you can see, because you have studied already this thing, what are the different type of settlement patterns? Number one is nucleated, number two is dispersed, right? आपको ये कैसा नजर आ रहा है? Nucleated जो है, ये पहले आप क्लियर कर लो कि nucleated क्या होता है. When all the huts, right? You can say these are the red blocks, filled blocks are there. These are all are the permanent huts. And just when the outline is there, it is not filled with it with the red color. That is called temporary hut, right? अब यहाँ पर आपको क्या नजर आ रहा है? यहाँ पर छोटे छोटे हट्स जो हैं, these are scattered here and there ना. Yes, these are not at one place only. So that means what? What type of settlement pattern you can find here? These are scattered. Okay. So what type of settlement pattern Bhamra is having? Again, Bhamra also has a scattered settlement pattern. Scattered, or you can say dispersed. Okay. And if we compare this with any other place like Dantrai, it is another settlement in the northern part of the map. You can see, right? Dantrai. Now, if you compare, suppose the question comes in this way, like what compare the two settlements, Dantrai and Bhamra. What can you say? First point is this only, that Bhamra is comparatively, it is following a dispersed settlement pattern. But as compared to this, Dantrai is a nucleated settlement pattern, right? Besides this, what you can observe regarding the size of the settlement, uh, Bhamra and Dantrai, which one is the bigger settlement area? Yes, Dantrai is no doubt, it is a bigger settlement. It is more important settlement than Bhamra. Okay, reason being, इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं बच्चों, इसमें एग्जाम में अक्सर पूछते हैं कि सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट सेटलमेंट कौन सा आपको दिख रहा है इस मैप में, तो उसमें आपको क्या क्या चीजें ऑब्जर्व करनी है. देखो, नंबर वन इज दैट द साइज विच इज एक्चुअली कवर्ड, द एरिया कवर्ड अंडर दैट, the entire area of the red blocks. Okay, so here you can see Dantrai is covering a large area as compared to Bhamra, right? Bhamra, or here you can see the other one, Dadarla or Jolpur. These all are smaller townships, okay, or smaller settlements. But Dantrai is a bigger settlement, right? One point which is making it more important. Number two is that if you can compare this with other settlements, Dantrai is well connected with the other settlements by different type of roads, okay, metal roads. Clear? And moreover, it has got several other facilities also. You can see the power supply is being provided. Okay, this is the symbol of power supply, right? Then besides this, what else you can see? Any other symbol you can find as an important you can say facility which is available in this settlement? If you can notice here, police chowki is written over here. Yes, police chowki. Then besides this, one symbol of post office is visible here, right? Then diggy and different things are there. The temples are there and all that. So basically, children, wherever you find these things are available, like basic amenities are there, like police chowki, any hospitals are there, dispensaries are there, or post office and such facilities are there. That is going to be the more important township or more important settlement as compared to any other where these are not present. Okay, if you compare that with the other ones, like the Darli is there, right, on the eastern side of the map, this one. So here also you can't find all these things. No such facilities are available. If you can take the other one, that is Jolpur or Malawa, or you can see the Bhamra, no other such facilities are available on any other settlements, right? So taking all these things in view, we can say that Tantrai is the most important settlement. If they ask for the reason, give reasons in support of it, then you can mention these points. Okay, because its size is quite big as compared to the others. Number two is that it is well connected with the metal roads and with the other settlements. Okay, it is getting a proper supply of the by the power line. Okay, then it has got several facilities like police chowki, post office, etc. Okay, so this is about the settlement. Clear? अच्छा, इससे रिलेटेड और एक टाइप का क्वेश्चन आता है, लाइक व्हाट टाइप ऑफ, सपोज आपको दो स्क्वायर्स दे दिए, ओके, दो ग्रिड स्क्वायर मेंशन कर दिया, एंड दे हैव आस्क्ड कि आप दोनों को कंपेयर करो, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ सेटलमेंट पैटर्न इज देयर और व्हाट टाइप ऑफ सेटलमेंट्स आर प्रेजेंट इन दैट. तो आप उसमें आप कंपैरिजन कैसे करोगे? अब तो आपको क्लियर हो गया होगा, सेटलमेंट पैटर्न अगर आपको देना है तो पैटर्न आप नाम दे सकते हो, इट इज न्यूक्लिएटेड, इट इज डिस्पर्स्ड, या कहीं पर आपको लाइक रोड्स के साथ साथ अगर सेटलमेंट्स ग्रो करते दिखेंगे, राइट, या कहीं रिवर के बैंक के साथ साथ ग्रो करते दिखेंगे, या आप बोल सकते हो लाइक अलोंग द रेलवे ट्रैक, सॉरी, so all that is actually called as linear settlement pattern. तो ये तो पैटर्न्स हो गए। एक और टाइप आपको यहाँ पर ये ध्यान देना है, लाइक इसमें क्वेश्चंस अक्सर ये पूछते हैं, दो जब आपको ग्रिड स्क्वायर्स दे दिए और उसमें पूछते हैं कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ हट्स आर प्रेजेंट। अब उसमें आपको बहुत ध्यान से ऑब्जर्व करना है कि the permanent huts are there or the temporary huts. If by chance temporary hut is there, you should mention that in this particular square there are a few temporary huts also, but in the other square all the huts are permanent huts. Okay, if and besides that you can mention the pattern also then. Clear? This is about the settlements. Okay. अच्छा, नेक्स्ट हमें डिस्कस करना है द डायरेक्शन। ओके, डायरेक्शन ऑफ द डिफरेंट सेटलमेंट। सपोज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दंतराई ऑन वन साइड, इट इज देयर, राइट, एंड दिस वी हैव डिस्कस्ड इन द अर्लियर वीडियो आल्सो, बट लेट मी टेल यू वन मोर टाइम दिस थिंग। भामरा इज देयर इन दिस पार्ट, राइट। अब अगर क्वेश्चन आता है व्हाट इज द डायरेक्शन ऑफ दंतराई फ्रॉम भामरा, नाउ व्हाट यू विल से। अब आप इमेजिन करोगे कि आप यहाँ भमरा पर हो, यहाँ पर लाइक यू आर स्टैंडिंग हियर एंड you just do one thing, as I said earlier also, you have to encircle this part which is covered under this area of Bhamra, right? Once you have made a rough circle, right, and over that you make a cross, okay, plus sign, and in that you will find, suppose the straight line which is pointing towards upside, that will be pointing north, okay, the opposite side of it will be pointing towards south, towards your right it will be the east, and always towards your left it will be west. Now if it is straight away in upside, okay, so that will be north. If it is straight away towards your the left of it, that will be straight, that will be in what direction, that is west. But if it is in between north and west lines, so that will be always, this quadrant will be always called as northwest direction. Okay, so if we have to find out the direction of Dantrai from Bhamra, it is going to be northwest. Okay, if you have to mention the direction of Malawa from Bhamra, तो ये इसमें आपका स्ट्रेट जो है साउथ आ जाएगा। ओके, Malawa is straight away towards south from Bhamra. ओके, तो इस तरह से आपको डायरेक्शन देना होगा। एक 4 कार्डिनल डायरेक्शंस आपने निकाले, और जो 4 कार्डिनल डायरेक्शंस के बीच में सेकेंडरी डायरेक्शंस हम निकालते हैं, दैट इज नॉर्थ और ईस्ट के बीच का पार्ट हो गया नॉर्थ ईस्ट, नॉर्थ और वेस्ट का के बीच का पार्ट हो गया नॉर्थ वेस्ट, ओके, देन साउथ और वेस्ट के बीच का पार्ट हो गया साउथ वेस्ट, एंड साउथ और ईस्ट के बीच का पार्ट हो गया साउथ ईस्ट। तो इस तरह से आपको डायरेक्शन देना होगा, फ्रॉम दिस डायरेक्शन टू दिस डायरेक्शन। सपोज भामरा इज देयर एंड मलावा, so from Bhamra the direction of Malawa is towards south. Okay, so these all are related to the direction of the settlements, or the 2 points they can ask, right? And to find out the direction, to find out the distance, okay, to find out the area, all these are the common questions. Acha, एक और question इसमें commonly they ask this type of question is like what type of climate this area which is covered under this topo sheet is experiencing, what type of climate, or they can ask for it what type of rainfall is received here, give evidences in support of it. So rainfall अगर आता है तो आप directly आप ये लिख सकते हो, it this area is receiving seasonal rainfall. Okay, seasonal rainfall. When this entire area is covered with forested area, then you can say that seasonal heavy rainfall. If that area is covered with white patches, okay, right? Or in some parts of the map only, these topo sheets only, you'll find some parts are having the sand dunes. If this type of things you can find in the map, then you can easily say that the rainfall received is seasonal scanty rainfall, okay, which has caused the developing of the sand dunes and all. बट यहाँ पर इस मैप में अगर आपसे पूछते हैं कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ रेनफॉल इज रिसीव्ड, इट इज टोटली सीजनल रेनफॉल. Give evidences in support of it, right? In support of your answer, what you will say? First thing which will come to your mind is the seasonal streams. Okay, number of seasonal streams you can find here. That is one point. Okay, if it would be very heavy rainfall, the streams would be perennial stream, right? But it is seasonal. The area is getting seasonal rainfall. Okay, so this is one. Number two is that you can find several seasonal tanks are there. So these are small tanks. Okay, these are also filled with small black dots. That means these are the seasonal tanks. Number two. Number three evidence, very strong evidence, that is, which we discussed a little back in this, in the earlier part of this video, that is these curved black lines along the bank of the river. These are called the broken grounds. So broken grounds are the third evidence, and this is very, very important evidence. Okay, so all these are the evidences for seasonal rainfall. If you are giving the seasonal scanty rainfall, राइट, इन योर आंसर, तो उसमें आप उसके सपोर्ट में आप क्या दे सकते हो उस मैप में, जहां पर अभी मैंने आपको बताया कि सैंड ड्यून्स अगर होंगे, सैंड ड्यून्स कैसे पता चलेगा? ब्राउन स्मॉल डॉट्स आर देयर, राइट? एंड such dots means sand dunes, and sand dunes अगर होंगे तो that means it is one of the indicator for what? Seasonal scanty rainfall. Okay. Moreover, open scrub, one type of vegetation what we find in the arid regions. We cannot say desert, but arid regions, which are generally drier areas, okay, where rainfall is very less. So there you'll find the open scrub is commonly seen. And wherever open scrub is there, that means it is getting comparatively less rainfall. Okay, open scrub here also you can see. Open scrub is shown in this map. That means this area is getting seasonal rainfall and less rainfall, not heavy rainfall. Okay. Now, these are a few things about the rainfall. What about the climate now? Climate it is experiencing, because we are talking about India. So we are actually, we can say that this area is experiencing a tropical monsoon type climate with seasonal scanty rainfall or with seasonal rainfall. Okay. But इस टोपो शीट को जब आप ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो उसमें आप क्लाइमेट क्या मेंशन कर सकते हो? दिस एरिया is experiencing hot and dry climate, okay, with seasonal rainfall. This is how you'll have to explain in your own words: hot and dry climate with seasonal rainfall. Because you can see the entire area is totally, you can say it is covered with several small seasonal streams, then seasonal tanks, and no such vegetation, like vegetations you can find, but the trees are scattered here and there, no such forested area you'll find. That means this area is experiencing a drier condition. Okay, clear? Fine, children. So this is all with this part of the topo sheet. Let's discuss a few more things regarding the MCQs. Okay. Now, shall we discuss the MCQs just now? Related to the topo sheet, we can complete the MCQs, right? The main occupation in the given map extract is what? Agriculture. And how you can say that, because there you will find several tributaries are there, right? Several streams are there, and along with the streams you'll find small blue dots are there, right? And these indicate the perennial wells. That means for agriculture purpose the perennial wells have been provided. Okay. Right. Now, the distance between easting 4751 and due east is 4 kilometers. Then what's the direction of Vidarla from Dhan? That is northeast. Then spot height 311 in 4738 represents the spot height of 311 meters above the mean sea level. Roadway in grid number 5035 is a district road. Then 2R here, what does it indicate? It indicates the relative height of the embankment. Whenever a seasonal tank is there, and along that you will find a zigzag like symbol is there, that indicates an embankment is there. तो अगर embankment है तो embankment का हमेशा relative height आपको देना है. The height of that wall, okay, is the relative height of the embankment is 2 meters. Okay, that will be the answer. Clear? Then come to next thing, main religion in this area. Main religion is Hinduism. How do you know about it? Several temples are there in this map. Okay. Main occupation is agriculture, sheep rearing. Okay. um, Black here, like lines seen in all over the maps, are like dry streams are there scattered in the entire map. Okay, most important town in the given map extract, that is Dantrai. Why is it important? ये आपने डिस्कस किया हुआ है अभी. Okay, what I told you just now, what points you should consider, so you can give your answer in that way. But in the case of MCQ, we have to answer like this. Okay, black vertical line between 51 and 52 easting is you can say a line of longitude. Okay, so in this way you have to answer. Now this is just related to this topo sheet what we have got, right? Now, um, the black curved line in 5332 indicate what? Broken land. Okay, the area of land enclosed in easting 49 to 52. 49, 50, 51, 52. That means 3 squares, right? And then northing 36 to 40. 36 ke baad 37, 38, 39, 40 means 4. Okay, so 3 into 4 कितना हुआ? 12. And 3 grid squares means उसका एरिया कितना हुआ? सपोज एक ग्रिड स्क्वायर का एरिया हुआ जो हमने पहले वीडियो में डिस्कस किया हुआ है. एक ग्रिड स्क्वायर का बच्चों एरिया होता है 1 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर. क्यों? क्योंकि दोनों साइड जो है दैट इज अ स्क्वायर, परफेक्ट स्क्वायर, राइट? तो एक साइड जो है दैट इज 1 किलोमीटर, द अदर साइड इज 1 किलोमीटर. 1 into 1 विल मेक 1 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर. तो अगर एक ग्रिड स्क्वायर का एरिया हुआ 1 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर, नेचुरली 12 ग्रिड स्क्वायर्स का कितना होगा? दैट इज 12 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर. Okay, which you can find is the answer of this, right? Question number 28. Then most common pattern of the settlement in this region is what type of settlement pattern? Nucleated in certain areas and scattered in the other parts. 4-figure grid reference of inland drainage pattern in the topo sheet, that is 5431. We need to actually see the topo sheet in that case. Okay, what is the type of climate experience? Now climate of India से related कुछ MCQs हैं. What is the type of climate experienced in India? We experience tropical monsoon type climate. B is the correct answer. Why does coastal Tamil Nadu receive very little rainfall from the Arabian Sea branch of the southwest monsoons? इसका आंसर होगा, it is practically exhausted, and also Tamil Nadu lies on its leeward side. Okay, लीवर्ड साइड में होने की वजह से जो साउथ वेस्ट मॉनसून्स हैं, दे कॉज एक्चुअली मैक्सिमम रेनफॉल ऑन वन साइड, दैट इज द जो वेस्टर्न घाट्स के विंडवर्ड साइड पे ज्यादा रेनफॉल करते हैं. until the time they cross that and they reach to the other side of it, that actually causes less rainfall. Okay, so this is the reason. Why are the monsoons referred to as periodic winds? Because they blow in one direction during one particular period and the other direction in the other period of time. Okay, because these are the seasonal periodic winds. Okay, so iska answer ho jayega A. Then what is meant by normal lapse rate of temperature? Normal lapse rate आपने पहले पढ़ा हुआ है 9th class में भी. It's a very basic thing. As we go higher up, the temperature decreases, and at what rate the temperature decreases, that is called by this term, that is normal lapse rate. Okay, what is it? At every increase of 165 or 166 meters of altitude, there's a fall of 1 degree centigrade temperature. Okay, तो यहाँ पर इसका आंसर हो जाएगा option A. Right? Question number 5. Why do the southeast trade winds get deflected when they cross the equator? Due to the Coriolis effect. Okay, Coriolis force. So B is the correct option. Then name the months of southwest monsoon season in India. Southwest monsoon season, आप याद करिए, अगर आपने वो portion cover किया है, you will be able to easily answer. June to September is the period. Okay. Then next is, why does Kanyakumari experience an equable climate? Because Kanyakumari, just think of the location of Kanyakumari. It is the tip of the peninsular India, right? So naturally, it is lying on the coast. Clear? If it is lying on the coast, that means it is fully under the influence of land and sea breeze. And if it is under that influence, that is going to have an equable climate or the moderate climate or maritime climate. Clear? So this is the reason. Then next is, why does Shillong receive lesser rainfall than Cherrapunji? Because yes, Shillong lies on the leeward side of the Khasi Hills, but Cherrapunji lies on the windward side. So heavy rainfall is caused over Cherrapunji, Mawsynram, but till the time this wind, the same wind, crosses the Khasi Hills and all those small hills, after that Shillong lies on the leeward side of it, the other side of it. So it gets less rainfall. Next is, why does the Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoons not give rainfall to Rajasthan? Okay, Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon, when it enters towards Rajasthan, when it reaches, right, it gets actually one mountain is there, Aravalli hills are there, right, but these Aravalli hills are not blocking the way of it. These are lying just parallel, almost parallel to these winds. So no obstruction is there. And that is the reason why these winds just cross over that part without causing any rains at all. Okay. Next is, why do the northeast monsoons bring almost no rainfall to most parts of India? Because these are the offshore winds, because they are coming from the land to sea. Okay, so the answer will be C is going to be the correct answer of it. Okay. Then the next one is, why does the Konkan coast receive orographic rainfall? Konkan coast, it lies on the windward side of the Western Ghats. That will be the correct answer. So C option is the correct one. Which state in India is the first to experience the onset of monsoons? For this, you can answer Kerala. Kerala is the first state, that is the Malabar coast, if you remember. Malabar coast, the Kerala state is the first to get the monsoons there. So it is first to experience the onset of monsoons. Why does Chennai see the overhead sun twice a year? Just think of it. Chennai is lying in between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer. So the direct sun rays are falling over there twice. Okay, and that is why it is actually said that it is getting the overhead sun twice a year. Okay. Next is, it has a coastal location and is close to the equator. No, this is not the correct answer for this. Next question is, which local winds are good for growing tea and coffee in Kerala? No, the answer for this is going to be cherry blossom. Okay, for tea and coffee in Kerala, in the southern parts, there it is the cherry blossom. Okay, why does Lucknow experience a higher range of temperature than Kochi? For this, you should think of one condition. Lucknow, where does it lie? It is lying in the interiors. Okay, interiors means the northern plains of India. As compared to that, Kochi is lying on the coast. So the two different conditions you can easily see. Lucknow is far away from the coastal influence, okay, or from the land and sea breeze, but Kochi is directly under the influence of it. So Kochi is experiencing a moderate climatic condition. Okay. Next is, the reason for heavy rainfall in the western coastal plains is, yes, presence of Aravalli mountain range in western India. Eastern coastal plains have no intercepting barrier. Presence of Deccan Plateau, none of these. The D option is the correct answer for this. March onwards, temperature rises in the mainland of India from the south. due to the, yes, what will be the correct answer for this? Due to the, as the March passes, the sun, apparent movement of the sun can be seen towards the north. Okay, so the correct answer will be the B option, northward migration of the sun from the equator, right? Then in June, Bhopal is hotter than Kolkata. Again, similar question. In June, what is expected? It is hot summer, right? Bhopal is lying in the interiors, but what about Kolkata? Kolkata is lying on the coast. Okay, so because Kolkata, all of you know that it is on the coast, it is a port city. Now, this is actually the basic difference between the two uh, conditions, right? On one side, Bhopal is far away from it, so it is getting extreme conditions, means it is getting continental type of climate. Summers are also too hot. So here we are talking of June, that means summers. The summers are going to be very hot. Okay, but in Kolkata, if you see, the influence of that hot summer will be less because of the influence of land and sea breeze. Okay, so here the answer will be A. Option A will be the correct one. Tropical cyclones then occur in October, November and affect India's southeast coast because the option will be C, difference of pressure systems over land and water. Next is Thar is water thirsty because the answer will be D, because all these three options are not working. Moisture laden winds from over Arabian Sea fails to face any barrier. No. Then winds from Bay of Bengal do not bear much of moisture when it reaches Thar. No. Then next is winds from Bay of Bengal drop moisture on the eastward slope of Aravalli. No, this is also not correct. So D is the correct option for this, right? Then come to next, Shimla is cooler than Nagpur because it is away from the equator. It lies at the high altitude. It receives snowfall. Then Shimla is at higher altitude and also away from the equator, whereas Nagpur is at lower altitude and is nearer to the equator than Shimla. Yes, D is going to be the correct answer for this. Punjab and Haryana receive the rainfall in winter from the southwest monsoons, northeast monsoons, western disturbances, or Kal Bisakhi. Answer will be C, that is western disturbances. Okay. The rain is good for tea and jute, but harmful to life and property. What is it? It is actually caused by Kal Bisakhi. Okay. Next is climatic data has been given over here, right? And in this, children, one thing I must tell you here, like temperature and rainfall is given, right? So if the rainfall related to rainfall, what type of questions generally come? The most commonly asked question is like, one thing is, what is the maximum rainfall received? What is the minimum rainfall received? Okay. Then besides this, it comes like what is the annual rainfall of the place, okay, or of the station given over here. तो उसमें आप क्या दोगे? रेनफॉल आप देख रहे हो यहाँ पर, जो रेनफॉल से रिलेटेड जो डेटा दिया हुआ है 4.6, 1.3, 1.3, 1.8, 3.8, 4.5. In this way, all these 12 values are there, okay, of each month. अब इन सारे 12 वैल्यूज को आप ऐड कर दोगे, दैट विल गिव यू द एनुअल रेनफॉल. If by chance the question comes, what is the annual average rainfall, in that case you will just total it, divide it by 12. That will give you the answer for annual average rainfall. Okay, but yes, don't forget to mention the unit. Rainfall हमेशा centimeters में mentioned होगा. Okay, whatever, suppose in the data what is given, that is in centimeter, you will mention centimeter in the answer. If it is millimeter, it is going to be millimeter. Generally it's centimeter only it's mentioned. Okay. Temperature डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड में है, तो आपको जो भी आंसर होगा उसमें आपको डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड जरूर मेंशन करना है. ओके. और टेम्परेचर से रिलेटेड क्या किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं? अगेन, व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर? Okay, what is the minimum temperature? Or the other way they can ask, which is the hottest month, which is the coldest month. Okay. और एक बहुत कॉमन क्वेश्चन अक्सर पूछते हैं, व्हाट इज द रेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर? रेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर में आपको क्या करना है? मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर आपने लिया, ओके, इन द एंटायर ईयर, whichever month you are getting the maximum temperature, that you have taken, एंड मिनिमम टेम्परेचर आपने लिया, दोनों का डिफरेंस आपने निकाल लिया, दैट विल बी द रेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर. ओके, अब रेंज ऑफ टेम्परेचर यहाँ पर देखिए आप, ये इसमें ये क्वेश्चन नंबर 25 में मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर और मिनिमम टेम्परेचर को आपने माइनस किया, you are getting the answer 12.1 degree centigrade, and that will be the correct answer for this. Okay, that will be the annual range of temperature. Okay, then comes this place receives the maximum rainfall from. अब आपको ये देखना है in which during what duration it is getting maximum rainfall. Okay, maximum rainfall इसको कब मिलता है इस प्लेस को, तो अब इसमें आप देखोगे कि किन मंथ्स में हैवी रेनफॉल है. हैवी रेनफॉल, हेवीएस्ट रेनफॉल आप देख सकते हो अगस्त सितंबर, राइट. October, November, no, not August, September. You can see October, November is getting heaviest rainfall, 30s में जा रहा है. ओके, तो मतलब क्या हुआ इसमें, इट इज गेटिंग रेनफॉल ड्यूरिंग विच 2 months, अक्टूबर नवंबर, मींस दीज आर द मंथ्स नोन फॉर व्हाट, रिट्रीटिंग मानसून. ओके, तो अब आप देखिए इसमें ऑप्शंस क्या दिए हुए हैं, साउथ वेस्ट मानसून से मिलता है, नॉर्थ ईस्ट, रिट्रीटिंग मानसून, वेस्टर्न डिस्टर्बेंस. करेक्ट आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी सी, दैट इज रिट्रीटिंग मानसून winds. Okay, then probable name of the place is, it can be Thiruvananthapuram, right. Next is major characteristic of the monsoon rain is, it is you can say several features are there. All the features which are given over here, erratic, it is erratic, it is irregular, it is unevenly distributed. Okay, it is totally uncertain. So all these are the features of monsoons. So it can be D option is the best one for this. Union territory that experiences the maximum rainfall is Andaman Nicobar Islands, then Lakshadweep Island, Daman Diu, and Puducherry. Answer is Andaman Nicobar Islands. State that gets rain in winter from the northeast monsoon winds. Northeast monsoon winds से winters में कहाँ पर rainfall होता है, कौन से state में? Yes, which part we are getting rainfall in India? That is Coromandel coast, if you remember. And that Coromandel coast is covering which state especially? Tamil Nadu. So the option will be Tamil Nadu, right? B option will be correct. Clear? So this is all with this session, children. Okay, because it has gone very long, and rest of the MCQs related to the other chapters we are going to discuss in the next session. Okay, now the next thing what I want to tell you is, here you should be more focused towards your studies, and along with revising all the chapters, you should go through these MCQs also. Okay, so we are actually going to have in the next session we are going to discuss several other MCQs also, several other such practice papers also, right. So see you soon in the next video, and till then prepare well and all the best for your board exams, right. And don't forget to share the link of these videos with your friends and classmates. Okay, try to get the best benefit of these videos. Okay, so see you soon. Till then, bye.